Does your rabbi lie? I know that's a great hook, but it's my personal pet peeve that I feel when the Jews have the Torah, and so when we're speaking and we're teaching, we like got truth, and we're able to speak about really deep things, and it's very compelling. And when people who are not accustomed to real deep teachings hear you speak, they're like, oh my God, you're a genius. And you're like, yes, and this is so anyone with a very cursory, like it cuts through so fast, and trust me, I know this because I've lived it. Like our stuff cuts through and really speaks to the heart. And the problem with that is that the practitioner of the person giving it over has a tendency to associate themselves with the material they're giving. And so they think, well, then I can come off as perfect. And there's so much like ingenuineness in like, I hate it. Like in a way I love inspiring speakers, but I hate inspiring speakers because it's like, bleh, you know, like if I'm going to give you an inspiring speech, I'm going to talk about when I lost 100 pounds, right? I'm not going to tell you that I put 40 pounds of that back on and I've been fighting that 40 pounds for a long time. I'm going to talk about like, people ask me like, what was your big failure? So I right away jumped to when I didn't get into UCLA, which was like my dream for what? For 2 years. And I had no idea why I wanted it, but I had just been so quote successful my whole life up until that point. What does successful mean? I never got a B, right? So my mom would work 6 hours with me for homework every single day, and I never got a B. And then I set on UCLA because I thought that I would meet my ideal wife there. Full disclosure, what am I supposed to do, right? And it was beautiful. It was Southern California. I like Southern California, right? But I never failed, and then I had UCLA, and that failed, and I was going to be like, that was my biggest failure, and it's like, God, that was like 25, like 30 years ago. Didn't you fail since then? And I don't want to tell you that I did because it like messes up that whole image. And it's not like I didn't have bad stuff happen to me or troubling stuff. And I also used to hate this is because we always try to figure out like, is my trauma bad enough? You know, like, well, do I have a right to feel bad? Like I'm a privileged white male, I'm Jewish. Do I have a right to feel like I also have problems, you know? And the truth is that everyone has trauma. And everyone's trauma is bad enough for them, you know? So if I say, you know, I haven't talked to my dad since I was in high school and he like left and he was an alcoholic and I have all these memories of like growing up in a house, what that was like, you know? So like, I don't like to talk about that because A, it doesn't register, honestly. Like I built up a lot of really thick emotional scar tissue around that and everything. Like when I leave a place, I like, you know, I text my buddies like, goodbye, I might not see you ever again or not for a long time. So like, I'm like thick in the sense of to pain in a lot of ways. So it's hard for me to focus on failure, my own failures, because I want to just find stuff that I've already gone through or I've already been successful on. And I have this desire for everyone to look at me and be like, oh, you're so inspiring, or oh, you've got your stuff together so well. And what are they going to think if people know about that? The truth is, every single bad thing, everything I was terrified of, in a lot of ways, you know, without the health concern, but you know, like thank God, like my family's been healthy. But I've lost all my money, and we've gotten like in serious debt before, and like we've had like, again, it's my fault, but we've had like challenges in our marriage, and I've had challenges as a parent, as a father. I've sold myself short. I'm consistently selling myself short. I'm always talking to people about finding your greatness and being unique and being an individual. In the back of my head, I'm always worried like, what if someone says I'm not orthodox enough, or I'm not Jewish enough, or I'm not religious enough, or I'm not skinny enough? And it's all such nonsense because that's literally what I spent all my life saying don't do. And so for me, that's real failure, because I'm not even like taking my own medicine. And then people are like, well, why don't you do this? And I'm like, I could do that, but I'm scared and I don't want to do that. And the way that I get over that is I talk about it all the time. Everyone says like, shut up about all of your issues. When I was on antidepressants, I told people about it. When I was going and seeing therapists all the time, I talked to people about it. And everyone's like, wow, that's really awkward. And it's like, I talk about it because the more I talk about my failure and the more I'm like, I pitched this client this contract and it was too much money, or it wasn't even too much money, I was too scared to ask, or I asked for less than I thought I should be getting, or I'm doing this for free and I really should be getting paid for this because I know that this person would pay someone else who does a less good job. I do all of that stuff. And the crazy thing is, I talk about it. And sometimes I even tell the people after I said it to them, like, I did this and I failed with you. Because the solution to getting out of failure is just to humanize it. Because everyone's doing it. Like, everyone's a big failure, right? And the more we talk about it, like, I want that, frankly, and I mean this, I want that to be my ticket to success, is just going through all my failures. Because that's how you actually help people. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, it'd be really awesome. Like Tony Robbins drops, he runs 3,000 companies in every single speech he gives, right? And he does have a really crazy story, but he also drops the 10,000. You know what? I would prefer, I mean this, I would prefer people just saw the failures, because I'm fine. I can take it on the chin, I hope, and God willing, like, I don't want to ask for anything that I can't handle. And I don't even want stuff I can't handle. I just want to be like safe all my whole life. But I'm fine taking it on the chin if people can think about what I've done and push themselves a little bit further. And if I look at my own ridiculous, I'm like, oh, I'm scared. Oh, I can just do that. As soon as you see it, like, and you talk about it and you experience, you can just get through it. And if you can't get through it, you're just like, what am I holding myself back for?